Hello YouTube, I am slyelessar. Visit slyelessar.com. I'm a street photographer, musician, whatever. Okay, on with the show. So today I wanted to do a comparison about the Zuiko OM 24mm series. I've got two here with me today. I've got the 24mm F2.8. Nice little small lens. And its big brother, the 24mm F2. Quite a big hefty lens. Okay, so the 2.8 is rather dinky. I'm not going to give you specs. Okay, if you need specs, go and look elsewhere. It's all over online. Visit Ollie35mm on YouTube. He's fantastic and very knowledgeable about these Zuiko lenses in terms of specification. I'm going to give you practical application in terms of street photography for both lenses. So this tiny little lens here, don't know if he'll let me do that with my eye. Good, no fungus, always a good thing. You can pick them up for around between sort of 90 and 130 pounds, depending on condition. I think I paid about 90 pounds for this, something along that line. So you've got f2.8 to f16. You've also got the aperture check, like you do with most of the Zuiko lenses. So this lens I had before the f2, and I found that it's a very good lens. It's small, it's compact, it does fit on the OM1 and the OM2, etc., etc. really well, because that's what it's built for. So let me give you a practical example of this lens. So here we go. Okay, so this is on South Bank. This is looking across the South Bank towards HMS Belfast. So you've got the river on the left and the horizon coming in, and down the steps on the right-hand side. So you can see the shadowy area with the shadow from in between the columns lighting the wall further down, the people coming up the stairs, up the pathway, and alongside the Thames. Okay, so this was shot on Tri-X at ASA 1600 and then pushed in development. Okay, so this lens is quite sharp, very light and handy, and packs away in your pocket, in your bag really easily. It's quite an important, I mean, Zuiko consider this an ultra-wide lens, whereas I consider it more of a wide lens these days, I suppose. It's really handy for, in terms of street photography, for your urban landscapes, for your sort of long juxtaposition photographs, anything where you need a bit more in to tell the story. That's what a 24mm is really good for. In terms of quality out the Zuiko range, it is definitely one of the better 2.8s. That brings me on to its big brother, the Zuiko 24mm f2. Which is actually larger than the 28. There we go, let's get them in line. So the focusing ring, in fact the focusing ring on both of them is very smooth. Very short distance in terms of focusing, focal distance. This also goes from f2.8. No, it doesn't. This goes from f2 to f16. So you get that extra stop of light. Does it justify paying 4 or 5 times the amount for this lens? Because this lens can be anything from about £180 to about I've seen it for about 400 online. It can go, it does depend. So let's say 350. So would you pay several times more for this lens compared to that one in terms of quality? No. For the extra stop, no, it's not worth it. F2.8 is plenty enough, really. F2 in a really low light situation might be handy, but you're getting less depth of field with that. But what the F2 does have is it's a bit more contrast. I mean, the 2.8's got nice contrast already, but the F2 just has that step more contrast to it. It's really nice. In fact, let me put up the same image, or I say the same image. It was taken a bit later than it was taken with the F2.8. Several months later, it's summer now. That was taken in winter, but I was trying to get the same sort of shot for this comparison video. Okay, here we go. Okay, so same situation again. We've got the Thames on the left-hand side coming around. I know it's not going to be exactly the same because I didn't do them on a tripod. I didn't do them at the same time. The weather conditions are completely different, etc. However, for the sake of argument, I wanted to take a similar shot. And on the left-hand side, we've got, again, down the steps, the people on the left-hand side on South Bank, and it all meets about a third of the way over the frame where the Thames meets South Bank. Okay, and now I'm going to put them together. Okay, there they are together. Now, obviously, I can't see this on the screen, so I will indicate in the editing. Which one is which, and you can probably tell by now anyway after watching this. Yeah, so there are some differences in terms of image quality. The F2 is a bit better in terms of image quality. I think the 24mm f2.8, that photograph was taken all on Tri-X pushed to 1600, and on the 24mm f2, it's actually on Burger Panchro, shot at 400 ASA, so almost completely different, but same focal length, and they're both at f16. So it should give you an idea of what both these lenses look like at f16 for the same sort of scene. Okay, completely different lighting, completely different film. I might have to go back and just do it with push Tri-X or both with Panchro. So in conclusion, pros and cons for both. F2.8 is small, it's nifty, fits in your bag, your pocket, you can take it anywhere, great little travel lens. The F2 is up there, it's sort of up there with the 28 F2, and I don't just mean because it's F2 in terms of quality of image. It's very weighty. This actually balances better on an OM1 in my hand. Despite being bigger and heavier, the balance is better on the camera compared to the smaller lens, which is odd, but there you go. So there is a slight difference. Is it a big deal? Is it worth paying more? Not really, no, it's not. Okay, so I'm going to stick some pictures up at the end. I hope this was useful. I'm trying to keep this sort of thing a little bit shorter. Visit slyelessar.com. That's where I'm based. That's where my images are. That's where my blog is. That's where some of these videos are posted. It's links to my Instagram, slyelessar, across all platforms. Okay, have a good one.